My name is Ivan Haigh. It's thank you very much, Michael, for the invite to be here. I've only recently joined UCF in the last 3 months. It's been a bit crazy moving to the UK, getting settled in, but I'm excited to be here. I did a degree in oceanography and maths from the University of Southampton. I graduated about 24 years ago. I then worked for 5 years as an environmental numerical coastal modeling consultant for a company called ABP MER, own a series of ports around the UK. I then came back to Southampton in the Department of Civil Engineering and did my PhD on coastal flooding. I then spent 3 years as a postdoc at the University of Western Australia before moving back to the UK. And for the last 14 years, I've been a assistant, then associate, then full professor at the University of Southampton, based at the National Oceanography Centre. And yes, just late last year, I moved here as a professor in civil engineering, but also the director of UCF Coastal. My work tends to have three main areas. And over the last sort of 13, 14 years, I've led the SELECT, the Sea Level and Coastal Research Group, and we've looked at three things. First of all, we've looked at how does sea level change both in time and spatially, and the kind of mean average level of the sea right through to sort of extreme events driven by hurricanes and extratropical events. And we've worked on local, regional, and global scales, looking at sort of sea level trends, looking at altimetry data, tide gauge records, right through to kind of using numerical models. I'm particularly interested by compound flooding, flooding arising from both coastal, but also riverine and pluvial course, sources. The second thing we've worked on is, well, what is sea levels are rising? We're seeing an increase in coastal flooding. How does that impact society? And I'm particularly passionate about this. So we work in kind of four main areas. We've done a lot of work with coastal cities, and I'd love to connect with some of you through the smart city theme here. And I've spent the last 10 years leading a big 10 billion coastal flood management plan for London. I've worked a lot on deltas, particularly the kind of Mekong Delta in Vietnam. We've worked on small islands, mainly in the Pacific, and I'm really keen to see if we can expand some of that work into the Caribbean. And I've also been fascinated by cultural heritage sites. There's many UNESCO World uh, Heritage sites on the coast that are very, very vulnerable to sea level change and erosion. And then finally, a very significant thrust of my effort that I'm keen to expand here is how do we translate that science into really tangible, practical terms that can kind of aid coastal management? So I spent the last 10 years working on this 10 billion pound plan to protect London from flooding. I've worked with many organisations, more than 100 organisations across the south coast of the UK, helping them plan for major flood incidents, how they respond to that. I've helped the UK government and other governments around the world, particularly the Dutch government, develop kind of national risk registers aimed at kind of managing coastal flooding. I've led the Marine Climate Impacts Programme for the UK. I've done four reports for them, all kind of reviewing evidence for flooding and feeding that into sort of policy for organisations all across the UK. I sit on the Office for Nuclear Regulation in the UK, advising them on protecting their nuclear power stations on the coast. I also am an advisor for iStorm, which I'll talk a little bit about later, the storm surge barrier network around the world. A really key thrust of my work is interdisciplinary, and in Southampton, I worked with all of these different departments. So I'm really keen to kind of expand that and really keen to work with many of you. Over the last sort of 4 or 5 years, a large thrust of my work has been looking at coastal cities, particularly those in estuaries. So when you have an estuary, you might only have on an open stretch of coastline here, you might have to kind of build a 10 kilometer, a 10-mile seawall. But in an estuary, for example, like London, you have 300 kilometers of coastline all exposed to coastal flooding. So one of the first things you could do is you could build dikes, but that's very, very expensive. And somewhere where there's a coastal city like London or Rotterdam or Singapore, there's not a lot of space. Another option you can do, and the Dutch have done this, is actually half the length of their coastline. You could build a dam, but this would fundamentally change your relationship with the city. You can see here you've got a port, you've got natural habitat, that would all get rid of. This would become fresh water and you'd have to pump the water out. You'd lose your port. And so the most economic solution is to build a movable storm surge barrier. So this could sit, so in London, we have the Thames barrier. Um, uh, I'll show you the Thames barrier in just a second. But we have the Thames barrier that is open all year round. So you can still have your port, you can have your natural infrastructure, you can have your fish, but it closes during a storm. There's more than 50 large storm surge barriers in the world. So this is one in Rotterdam. It's actually the biggest robot in the whole world. It doesn't look very big, but each of those gates is the size of the Eiffel Tower. This is the storm surge barrier in Venice. Each of these gates is the size of a tennis court, and it sits on the seabed and then raises into place during a storm. And this is a Thames barrier where they have these 10 gates, each of 3,000 tons that sit under the water. So one of the key bits of work I've been doing is with sea level rise, changes in storminess, we're seeing these barriers have to close increasingly frequently, was putting a lot of pressure on these structures, meaning they have to do a lot more maintenance. So this has been a really key thrust of what I've done. And I'm really keen to reach out to some of you engineers, but also other people out there. If you're interested in this, please get into contact because we're really looking at sort of how to kind of manage these. And I've been working with barriers all around the world, and I'm really keen to continue that here in the US. My job here is to really run the National Center for Integrated Coastal Research, as well as continuing my own research. This center was set up about 10 years ago, and I'm really excited to try and take it to the next level. So the aim of, so we're one of 9 clusters that kind of do multidisciplinary work. So we have 4 people currently employed through the faculty cluster initiative, and more than 30 other staff I'll show you in a minute. But our aim is to really try and understand the complex local, national, and global problems related to both natural and anthropogenic changes in the coastal system. And I try to summarize that in a question: how do we achieve a sustainable coast? How do we live on the coast, benefit from it economically while making sure it's sustainable and with kind of acceptable risk? You know, the coast is a very risky place with hurricanes, heat waves, red and brown tides. So our center has, I'm just in the process of developing this, but 3 core themes. We want to be the best coastal research center in the world. In terms of knowledge exchange, we want to be working with local stakeholders, national stakeholders, and internationally. So, you know, I work a lot with the US Army Corps of Engineers, NOAA, NASA, but I really want to kind of expand that. And I want to take our expertise international. And we also want to, at some point, have an educational component where we have some sort of PhD or MSc in kind of coastal engineering and management that's very multidisciplinary. Our center represents 5 different colleges and 10 different departments. We have 30 members of staff. 4 of those are core. The other 26 are secondary staff, but we've expanded this quite a bit in the last couple of months. And certainly, if any of you have a coastal research interest, please do get in contact. We'd love to involve you in some way. We have over 50 PhD students and postdocs, and I'm actually meeting with them for a second time this afternoon. But I'm set up a very, very dynamic next generation coastal group, and really excited about some of the things that we're going to be doing this semester. So at the moment, I'm really trying to build the vision of the center. This is very, very preliminary, and I'm working on this. But I think there's 5 areas where we're very strong. Probably our 2 strongest areas are what are called hazard coasts. You know, the coast is very vulnerable to hurricanes, marine heat waves, and we have a very strong group working in that theme. So again, if you're working at all on hazards, please let me know. I also want a strong theme around healthy coasts. How do we ensure biodiversity, but ensure economic health, but also the community well-being aspects of the coasts. And we're working very closely with the Rosen School of Hospitality. I want to have a strong theme around digital coasts and smart coastal cities, utilizing AI and machine learning. So again, if any of you are interested in that, and I really want to tap into our faculty's digital twin and AI theme. We're also going to try and have a theme around space because a lot of the coastal space infrastructure here is on the coast, and also looking at how do we manage the coast for the future. So yeah, I've just kept keeping an eye on my clock. I've been exactly 10 minutes. So thank you. Please do get in contact with me, particularly if you have any interest in smart coastal cities or digital twins, but anything else. Thank you very much.